What if I told you that some of the world's richest kings, greatest scholars, and most advanced cities existed in Africa, long before Europe's rise, kingdoms built on gold, knowledge, and incredible engineering, yet barely mentioned in modern history books? Today, we journey into the forgotten kingdoms of Africa, the legendary empires of Mali, Songhai, and Great Zimbabwe. Get ready, this is the Africa they never told you about. Our story begins in West Africa, around the 13th century, with the rise of the Mali Empire. At its height, Mali controlled half of the world's gold supply, and at the center of its glory stood a man whose wealth is still unmatched, Mansa Musa, the richest person in human history. When he traveled to Mecca, in 1324, he brought 60,000 men and so much gold that the economy of Egypt crashed for years. But Mali wasn't great because of wealth alone. The empire built one of the largest centers of learning the world had ever seen: Timbuktu. Here, scholars studied mathematics, astronomy, medicine, law, filling libraries with hundreds of thousands of manuscripts. While Europe struggled through the Dark Ages, Africa was producing world-class scholars and global trade networks stretching all the way to the Middle East. After Mali began to decline, a new power rose from the shadows: the Songhai Empire, one of the largest empires in African history. Songhai controlled the entire Niger River trade route: gold, salt, ivory, spices, and more. Under leaders like Sunni Ali, the empire built a feared, professional army. But it was Askia Muhammad who transformed Songhai into a center of law, religion, and education. He built schools, organized government systems, and created one of the first serious tax systems in the region. Songhai wasn't just powerful, it was advanced. Its government was divided into ministries, its cities had judges, scholars, and thriving markets, and its influence reached across the Sahara into North Africa. But, in 1591, Moroccan forces armed with guns invaded. The fall of Songhai ended a golden era, but not the legacy. Far in the south, another kingdom was rising: Great Zimbabwe, built between the 11th and 15th centuries. Its name means stone houses, and its architecture is, honestly, breathtaking even today. Massive stone walls, built without cement, rise more than 30 feet high and stretch hundreds of meters. Great Zimbabwe was the heart of a trade empire connected to East Africa, Arabia, India, and China. Archaeologists found Chinese pottery, Persian beads, and African gold, proof of a global African trading civilization. But for centuries, European colonizers refused to accept that Africans built it. They created theories claiming it must have been built by outsiders, but the evidence was clear. Great Zimbabwe was an African masterpiece, created by African hands. It remains one of the greatest architectural achievements on the continent. Mali, Songhai, and Great Zimbabwe remind us of something powerful. Africa's history is not defined by colonization, it's defined by innovation, leadership, and civilization. These forgotten kingdoms reshaped global trade, influenced world culture, and built an African legacy of greatness. If you want more hidden African history, hit subscribe and join us on this journey to reclaim the past.